Hello darling, my name's Hannah Savage and today we're going to be doing my second Q&A/T&A video. I asked you guys to ask me some questions over on the community tab on my YouTube channel as well as over on my Instagram. Shout out the lovely people on my Instagram. I love you. And you guys delivered! Delivered! I never expect people to ask me questions, so when they do, oh my gosh. So you guys asked me some Michael Jackson questions as well as some personal questions. So we're gonna start out with all of the Michael Jackson questions. Okay, so the first question is, what are your top 3 favorite MJ short films? Number 1 for me is gonna be Smooth Criminal. It needs no explanation. Number 2 is gonna be Remember the Time because I love all those short films where Michael Jackson is acting a fool, chasing tail, and hee-heeing into the wind. Amen. Number 3 might be surprising, but to me it's Blood on the Dance Floor or In the Closet. I just really love those videos. I don't know. I love it when MJ got a little spicy. The second question is, what's your favorite MJ song? My favorite MJ song, honestly, is Someone Put Your Hand Out. Like, I just love that song a lot. I love the way that Teddy Riley had mixed it. I love the lyrics. It's just chef's kiss. But if you're gonna ask me, like, what's my favorite MJ song as far as one that's, like, out on a studio album, I would probably say it's Another Part of Me, Smooth Criminal, or Bad. I can't choose. I'm sorry. I don't know how you expected me to choose. What are your top 3 favorite MJ albums? Number 1 for me is gonna be Bad, besties. I mean, are we really surprised? I mean, I don't know how many minutes we are into the video, but I've talked about Bad a lot, I'm pretty sure. So Bad is my number 1 because I feel like it is a flawless album that includes Speed Demon and Just Good Friends for you haters. And like, it's the one Michael Jackson album I feel like I could play top to bottom, bottom to top, and like never get tired or skip any of the songs. For number 2, the same thing applies for number 1, where it's like I feel like it's a perfect album and I could play it without skipping any of the tracks, and that's Off the Wall. And that includes It's the Falling in Love and Girlfriend. Cause y'all love to hate Girlfriend. How do you hate Girlfriend? Y'all like Michael Jackson's little snitching era. Number 3 might surprise some of you guys, but to me it's History. Oh my god, Thriller's not in your top 3? No. The reason I put History at number 3 is because it's Michael's most personal body of work, and I feel like we got so much of Michael poured into that album, and I think, you know, that's why I love it the most. Plus, History kind of became like a really like pivotal part of my life when I was going through a really hard time, and it kind of just kept me afloat a little bit. So History is going to always be in my top 3, darling. What first brought you to the world of Michael Jackson and his art, and then what kept you there? I think what first brought me here is just his magic. Like, there's something just so all-encompassing and captivating about Michael Jackson that I feel like a lot of artists don't have. Like, the Michael Jackson effect, it's very real. His aura was very strong. He just had this thing that just sucked you in. You know what I mean? And it just made me just love him. Like, I was just so enamored by him. But that brings it to the second part of your question, which is what kept me here. So in the beginning of being an MJ fan, I was very much so just like fangirling over Michael, just like, oh my god, like that's my man, yeah. And I feel like now I'm more so just like, I want to know as much about Michael Jackson as humanly possible. I want to know about his life. I want to know what made him tick. I want to know why he made certain decisions in his life, his creative process. I want to know all of that. And it's kind of given me like a second wind of being an MJ fan, especially through making my videos and everything. I've gotten to learn so much about him and I really love it. So I think that's what keeps me here. Just a thirst for knowledge. Why do you think some Michael Jackson fans try to erase or downplay Michael's blackness or the racism he experienced post-vitiligo? To answer the question, I'm gonna have to go to editing Hannah, and she's gonna answer this because it's currently like 11 p.m. and I am not in my top form. What is your favorite era of Michael's fashion? I think my favorite era is probably like the Victory / like Thriller era, like the early 80s Michael with like the sequins and the military style. I think he just looks so good. MJ could eat up a good jacket. Like,
the behavior that you exhibited was whore-like. The whore jumped out.
Oh, you also asked me what are your top 5 artists slash albums. I don't know if you mean in general or just like of the year, like my Spotify Wrapped, but I'm gonna just give y'all my Spotify Wrapped and stuff because I feel like it's a little easier. Favorite MJ outfits. Take it away, editing Hannah. Best MJ hairstyle and outfit. Like, do you mean a combo or his best outfit and his best MJ hairstyle? If you mean a combo, I'm sorry, I need a moment of silence for that look. And I don't blame Madonna for trying to holler at Michael, cause baby,
the whore jumped out.
As far as like my favorite MJ hairstyle though, them Dangerous Era Cross, they gonna do it for me every time. They gonna do it for me every time. Best decade of Michael Jackson. I mean, like, based off of what? Like, based off music, based off style, based off like impact? Like, what we, you know, what's the basis of this? Because if you're just saying in general, like my favorite decade of Michael Jackson, then I'm gonna say the 90s because I just love like Dangerous History, like that era of Michael Jackson. Why do you look so pretty? Thank you. But, you know, I'm gonna have to let A$AP Rocky go ahead and answer this one for me.
Man, I be that pretty motherfucker, man.
Also, do you think there's more unreleased MJ songs? Or are we almost out due to leaks that have been happening recently, like the Get Your Weight Off of Me leak and the Throwing Your Life Away leak? And as far as that, I just want to say, y'all slept on the Get Your Weight Off of Me leak because that was on full blast in my house and it's still on full blast in my house. But do I think there's more unreleased MJ tracks? Maybe. Because weren't some just found in a storage locker like a couple weeks ago? It just depends on like what those tracks are. You know what I mean? Because are they just instrumentals? Is it just like guide vocals? Like, you know, a perfect example of that being In the Back, where he's going da 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 da, and there's like lyrics sprinkled in. You know, so it's like how many tracks are completed versus ones with guide vocals or ones that are just instrumentals? You know, I think that's probably a better question. But I don't know. The next question's kind of similar, but it's what are your thoughts on the demos being released either officially or by a third party? It doesn't matter how complete they are. So to me, it doesn't matter how complete they are. I'm just thirsty for some Michael Jackson, you know? Like, to me, it don't matter. But as far as like them being released by a third party versus like officially, it's a double-edged sword because it's like, yeah, I would love it if they could be officially released with the MJ estate and Sony or whomever involved, but we all know how the MJ estate and Sony are. Trash. I don't feel like the estate has done anything to like, you know, properly uphold Michael Jackson's legacy and everything that he built. So it's just like, they might as well just drop him online one day and hee into the wind because the estate doesn't really do anything. Next question is, why do you think Michael decided to go with the bad aesthetic for the album? Maybe to prove he was bad in like in the multiple ways that bad means. Bad could mean, oh, he bad, like he's that man, like ah. Or it can mean bad, like okay, like he's with us, he's, you know, gangsta. And I feel like it was kind of both of those. Keep the faith or speechless. It's always gonna be keep the faith for me, baby. He took us to church in there. Amen. Amen. Favorite piece of MJ media ever? We be illin'. Look at them titties. Why down there?
Hey, why down there?
Get your buttocks to the house.
Get your buttocks to the house.
What are your thoughts on the This Is It film? I'm kind of indifferent about it, to be honest, especially given my research and everything. It's like, is it cool that we got to see what it could have been? Absolutely. But knowing what we know now, where it's like MJ was suffering through a lot of those rehearsals, he couldn't get through single performances, and a lot of the vocals in This Is It aren't even live vocals. They're just taken from other performances or like snippeted here and there. So that's where it's just like, I just feel very indifferent about it. Would you ever speak on MJ's solo releases as a child and teenager when he was signed signed to Motown. And if you had the chance to meet MJ, what would you have said to him? As far as the Motown question, yes, eventually I would like to get more into like those other solo releases because like I've never done them. I've never even really listened to those early albums. I'm sorry, I'm a fake fan. But I definitely would like to make videos about them. Probably not anytime soon, but in the future, yes, for sure, for sure. As far as like what would I say to Michael if I met him, it's not what I would say, it's what I would do, which is just ugly cry. And I mean crying to the extent where it's just like, you know, your mama chasing you up the stairs with the belt, bottom lip quivering, snot slinging, just disgusting ugly cry that makes everyone uncomfortable. If I could mutter out the words I love you, I would, but I would probably just cry really disgustingly. Favorite MJ photo shoot. My favorite MJ photo shoot is the one he did for Vibe magazine. What do your family and friends think of your obsession with MJ? I've been ridiculed. Girl, me too. A lot of the ridiculing was when I was younger because now, as a grown-ass woman, I'm gonna like whatever the fuck I want and people can be mad if they want to be mad. It doesn't affect me. My family, I think they were very supportive like when I was 12 and I was just like, oh, it's just a phase. And then I never grew out of it, so now they're kind of just like, oh, you still like Michael Jackson? Go ahead and stop. As far as my friends are very supportive. Like the friends that I have now are very supportive. The ones that I had when I was younger, they weren't as supportive, and because of that, I thought it was weird to like Michael Jackson, so I just hid it. I got rid of all my posters and t-shirts and just erased the fact that I liked Michael unless someone directly asked me about him. And I will never be in that position again, darling. I mean, you can't really choose your family, but you can choose your friends. So get better friends if they're gonna mock you about liking Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's cool. It's like, I don't understand why people don't like him because it's like, literally, this is the blueprint. This is the literal, like, this man created music. Like, why are you hating? Honestly. What is the most shocking fact you discovered when researching the This Is It series? I wouldn't say that anything I discovered was like shocking. Most of it was just saddening. The most saddening stuff was definitely when I was researching for part 1 and I was talking about the Dangerous tour. Just knowing what MJ went through on that tour, trying to get through it, you know, the start of the allegations, the scalp surgery, his pain, the exhaustion, all of that, it really just made me really sad. And also hearing Dr. Stuart Finkelstein talk about it as well in his deposition, it was just hard to like hear all of that. Is it true that Justin Timberlake's first album was made for Michael? I wouldn't say the entirety of the first album was made for Michael, but a lot of the songs were. I know that Rock Your Body was originally intended for Michael Jackson, but he didn't want it. The songs that Pharrell was trying to give to Michael, I think they were very just like 20-something. So Michael was in his 40s at the time, and I don't think he wanted to go, you know, backward just to stay relevant. You know what I mean? The final MJ question is, in your personal opinion, do you think if MJ was still with us today, he would still be making music? And what genre would you see him doing, or possible artists he would collaborate with? So yes, I do still think that he would be doing music because I feel like music was such an intricate part of who he was, but probably not in the same way that he was. I can see him making instrumental albums and doing classical music because I know that Michael really wanted to make a classical piece. Like some of his favorite albums include like the Nutcracker Suite by Tchaikovsky. So I think soundtracks and like, you know, classical pieces would have been something he would have tried to tackle outside of that. Maybe releasing the occasional song, like, you know, for humanitarian efforts in like MJ fashion. I would also probably see him being like a Quincy Jones, Berry Gordy like style figure, being a mentor to some of the artists of today. And as far as like who I think he would collaborate with, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, and then he would like throw in like a random side quest, like a very random one, just to get people talking. Like maybe he would collab with like Playboy Cardi or like Sexy Red or Megan Thee Stallion just to get people talking, because Michael Jackson loved doing random side quests, you know? So that was the last of my Michael Jackson questions. So now we're gonna get more into the personal ones. How do you prepare for a video? And other than crying, I pretty much just come up with an outline of what I want to talk about, and then I just jump in and start researching and start writing. That's just the best way that I do it. I just gotta jump in head first, because if I think too much, it's not gonna become a good product, you know what I mean? Even though I think a lot. Hence the 2-3 hour videos, but you see the vision though. You pick up what I'm putting down. Eventually we get to the point. You fizz Naomi?
What?
What are your passions / non-MJ interests? I think my biggest one, especially recently, has just been writing. I've been really into screenplay writing specifically. I never thought it would be one of those things that I would actually like. That's kind of what I'm doing recently. Aside from watching medical dramas, I've recently been obsessed with 911. So yeah, that's pretty much the vibe right now. How are you doing, Hannah? I don't know, man. For the most part, I'm doing okay, but I recently strained my back really badly. So being alive is pain right now. But aside from that, I'm thriving. What are your top 5 artists besides Michael Jackson? Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, The Weeknd, Ariana Grande, and Bruno Mars. Did I already say Bruno Mars? Bruno Mars. I love Bruno Mars. That's my man. My little short king. What was your favorite part about the short film you just made? Oh my god! So this person is talking about Rematched. Basically, Rematched is a film that me and my friend Terrell, we co-wrote it together and I starred in it.
I'm broke!
Why does this feel so wrong? Maybe I've gone too far. Molly, you were just getting started.
But my favorite part of it was definitely just creating it, getting to write it. Like, it was the first time me and my friend Terrell had collabed and like done something together, and I thought it was really fascinating and cool, so that'll always be it's kind of a cherished memory, and I know he's watching this, so go ahead and ignore this whole part. What did you major in at college / where do you work currently? I majored in digital design and graphics, and I have an associate's degree. Where do I work currently? Somewhere that has nothing to do with my degree.
Alright. I hate my life.
Are you an only child? Do I give only child energy? I mean, yeah, I'm an only child, but do I give only child energy? If money wasn't a factor, what would you choose to do for your occupation? My delulu dream job is to work at Rolling Stone as a journalist and follow the celebrities around and write articles about them. That's my dream job, but pretty much I just want to be like a journalist, some kind of writer, because I've always just had a knack for writing, and it's always been like my thing, because I've been told I'm very reserved in my real life, and writing has always been a way for me to express myself, so I just want to do something with that. Do you like Brazilian music? Honestly, I don't know a lot of like music outside of like the American like pop scheme. Give me some Brazilian artists to listen to. Put me on. Someone asked me my favorite font. That's crazy, but it's this one. What do you use to record your audio and edit your videos? So to record my audio, I use a Blue Yeti microphone and I use voice notes. And I record it in my closet and I use hoodies as soundproofing.
The ghetto. The ghetto.
But it's effective. You know what I mean? And as far as video editing, I use Final Cut Pro. Favorite boy bands and girl groups? I've never been much of a band's girly, so it's like everyone I'm naming is gonna be old, like Destiny's Child, TLC, Blackstreet, you know, NSYNC, you know, so I don't know, but I've never been much of a band's girly, so I don't know, maybe someone will come out that'll change my mind. Where's one place in the world that you'd love to visit? I'd love to visit Barbados because my mother, Rihanna, is from there, and I love tropical places, and I've just always wanted to go somewhere tropical. I've also always wanted to go to Italy because I want to have authentic Italian pasta. Just one time in my life. What is your favorite dessert? Cheesecake, like a nice creamy cheesecake with a nice little strawberry glaze on top. Do you make music? No, I don't make music, but I think this person could be referring to. I was featured in a song on my friend Terrell's album called Sophomore Year. If you want to check it out, he's under the artist name Relx, R-E-L-L-X on Spotify and Apple Music. It's called Be Careful. I did the spoken intro on the song, and I also wrote that part. So like, toot, beat. One of my goals next year is to write a song and maybe make like one single. But I don't know, because I'm no Whitney Houston, I'm no Mariah Carey. But you know, maybe, just maybe I can carry a tune. We'll see. The final question is, what is your sign? I'm a Cancer. I feel like I give so much Cancer energy, to be honest. And if you want to know my big 3, Cancer Sun, Libra Rising, Capricorn Moon. Okay, darling, well, that's all the questions that I had. Thank you guys for asking me questions. I really appreciate it. I love all of the positive comments you give me. Like, I'm glad you guys really like my channel and you like the content that I make. It makes me really happy. Like, I never expected to have people like here that like wanted more of me. It's still such a foreign concept to me, honestly. Feel free to follow me on my socials @_HannahSavage on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. I also have a Blue Sky. All of that will be in the description. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas / Happy Holidays, and that everyone has a Happy New Year. And I will see you guys in my next video.